Welcome back. I'm Donna D'Amico, once again your guest host for Talk of the Town Hilton Head, and joining me right now is Emily Johnson, who is an independent boutique financial advisor, and she has her own firm called Polaris. And would you tell us a little bit about yourself, Miss Emily?
Gladly. I am a financial advisor. I'm a certified financial planner. I've been in this industry since graduating from business school. I went to the University of South Carolina's finance program. I have an MBA in finance from University of South Carolina, and I started this firm, Polaris Wealth Management, back in November of 2009. And it's been, just going gangbusters ever since. My background was working for well-known firms, Merrill Lynch. I worked for UBS. Prior to that, I was working in investment banking. And I founded this firm largely because I felt like, having worked for a lot of the larger wirehouses, I just wanted to have an independent firm, one that really catered to the client's needs, was very customer service focused, and that allowed us to really expand beyond what I was able to do when I was working for a wirehouse. Wirehouse is another word for sort of a regional bank or for a brokerage firm, the Merrill Lynch's, the Morgan Stanley's of the world. So anyway, we started Polaris back in November of 2009, which was an interesting time to start this business.
That's
certainly.
A rough time, right?
It was a little difficult, but fortunately it turned out to be somewhat opportunistic, I guess, and the markets cooperated. And it's also been interesting because it's been a time that clients, I think, are asking a lot of questions. Most clients that we have had financial advisors in the past, and their experiences have been very mixed. They might have had financial advisors elsewhere or locally, and their experiences have just been mixed. And sometimes, because the market was very difficult back in 2008, in the beginning of 2009, which was around the time that this was started, I think that clients really are much more attuned now to what's going on with their finances. It was okay to be asleep at the wheel, so to speak, for a little while when the market was going gangbusters and everybody's home was increasing in value. But when things get a little bit more challenging and you realize that you don't want to open your statements for a number of months, if not years.
It's depressing sometimes.
It's depressing, exactly. So, at some point when you finally do, and you face up to the fact that perhaps your investments haven't been growing the way that you would have hoped, or the way that you really need to keep up with the financial plan that you had, that you're going to start asking a lot more questions. So it's made the job itself, it's made it more challenging, but it's also made it more rewarding as well. Clients do ask a lot more questions. They ask a lot more challenging questions. You have, in addition to that, CNBC, which is, of course, like the action channel. And,
yes.
I have it on in my office all day, every day, because I know that I'm going to get questions based on what Maria Bartiromo said, or Jim Cramer, who is the bane of my existence, or anybody, the big personalities. That is who America's watching right now. So their questions are based off of what they're seeing, and I love that. I love that they're getting that kind of information. The Susie Ormans of the world, the Gene Shatskys, they're helpful because they do educate clients, which is great. On the other hand, when you're getting one perspective, it's easy to kind of get pigeonholed as well. Coming back around to the company, I started the company because I wanted to have an independent firm, one that's more boutique-oriented and much more, like I said, client-focused.
And you're not handcuffed, right?
Not handcuffed at all.
To certain products that you may have to.
Right. Right. There's no proprietary products, so to speak. We still, though, have, and this is somewhat of a misunderstanding, when you're independent, that doesn't mean that you don't have access to certain. You actually have.
That was my next question, right?
You
would have
access.
Right. So different funds that maybe
exactly.
a Wells Fargo offers with very high yield or whatever. You still have access to
all of those funds.
Okay.
Exactly. We actually work with multiple custodians, but the one that we work with the most, and a custodian is just where funds are held. So the custodian that we work with the most is Charles Schwab, and I chose them for a lot of reasons. One was just client confidence. Schwab is a name that clients know. And because we're an independent firm, a smaller firm, I wanted to have the name Charles Schwab behind us so that they had that confidence to know that their funds were in a safe, well-known institution, and it wasn't just Polaris's account somewhere.
Well, that would probably scare a lot of people.
Well,
in this volatile market, I'd want to know my accounts are with a big name.
Exactly.
It's a comfort level.
Exactly. And also the services that they can provide are absolutely equivalent to what you can get at the larger brokerages. It's a multi-billion-dollar firm. So the types of bells and whistles that you can get at the larger firms are available here. Fabulous online access, 24-hour call-in support. In addition to having the face of, or our faces, I guess, at the same time.
And how many people in your firm?
Well, let's see. There are 3 full-time employees at the moment, including myself. And then we have 2 interns at the moment, which have been absolutely fantastic. So I definitely want to give them a plug. In fact, we have one intern from USCB right now that has been fantastic, and they have a fabulous intern program. So I'd love to give them a plug at the moment because they've done a great job, and this is my 3rd intern from there, and just really wonderful. So there's 3 full-time employees, including myself, and we have a great division of labor, I have to say. We have a full-time customer service associate. She's the office manager, effectively. Her name is Tammy Malden, and she is wonderful in keeping us organized. She basically, runs our compliance. She's the first line of communication for clients. She makes sure that all the ledgers go out, that any of the journals need to occur, that IRA distributions occur. She's really is
the glue.
She is absolutely the glue, and I can't say that enough. She really is wonderful, and she's the face that everybody sees when they get off the elevator in our building. So she's the first face that everybody sees and keeps us straight. So it's really wonderful to have her on our team, and we also have a portfolio manager, an equity portfolio manager that has about, I suppose you'd hate for me to say this, but about 20 years at this point of equity portfolio management experience in Atlanta.
Well, that's good.
It's wonderful. And it's great the value that he brings. His name is Todd McGarity, and it's great the value that he brings to the office as well, because my experience is much more in the realm of financial planning. I have an MBA in finance. I have several certifications, chartered life underwriter, chartered financial consultant, CFP, or certified financial planner, which is the one that most people know.
So you've had a lot of education, and
lots
as well
of education,
as training.
exactly. And really, a lot of the initials nobody really, knows or follows. Really, a CFP, the role of the CFP really is much more in the planning realm, and asset allocating, risk analysis. Certainly, there's plenty of analytical work that goes on with that too. But the actual stock picking that goes on within portfolios is much more in Todd's realm, and so he runs a specific portfolio within our office. It's an equity, an ETF covered call portfolio that's very actively traded, and it's for appropriate circumstances. But it's great having that in house because when you work with a lot of mutual funds, when you work with managed accounts, that's interesting because those are certainly the managers that you see on TV. But it's not that exciting to talk to clients about. When you say, your BlackRock manager returned 3% this year, they said, that's great. They don't know anything about who BlackRock is, and you can explain it to them. You can say, the manager is such and such, and you can explain it, but they don't have that personal attachment to the market that you really get when you have somebody that is actively looking looking at every single nuance of the market on a daily basis. So it's made my experience a lot more rich when I'm dealing with quarterly reviews, annual reviews, when clients call and have questions about specific holdings. It's added a lot more, I think, high touch, as opposed to being something that's out there. It's something that clients can, because they understand. One of our holdings was Green Mountain. They understand Green Mountain. They know that they have a Keurig coffee maker at home that makes Green Mountain coffee. I
have a Keurig coffee maker.
So everybody knows that. And then when you talk to them about that, you talk to them about Starbucks. That's something that they get. When you talk to them about Alliance Bernstein as a fund manager, you get the glaze over look.
Yeah, who's he?
And exactly. and so I love the blend that we have in our office right now, because I really do think that we bring a lot of what I love to do, the financial planning element, and the putting together a plan for somebody, quarterbacking a plan, bringing in their estate attorney, their corporate attorney, their accountants, their mortgage lenders, their insurance agents, their real estate agents, bringing together that team and just sort of quarterbacking that team so that we can put a plan in place and adjust it as we need to. But then also having the best of breed that we can choose from a manager perspective, and having that in-house component really is fantastic, and combine that with our customer service. I'm really happy with how it's grown. It's been a lot of fun.
Well,
and
Emily,
the learning curve has been steep.
But that's okay, because sometimes it takes a leap of faith, and for you to do this in a volatile climate.
Yeah.
But how wonderful that your whole main focus was to help clients and give them that specialized service and be able to choose from many, many different options. And I understand you also have a little information for us, or a little plug to tell us about.
I do. Actually, starting in June, we are going to have our own show. It's called, well, I think the name is still kind of under consideration, so I suppose I should wait on that. But yes, it'll be a financially based show looking at all elements of finance, all elements of the market, financial planning. I'd love to bring in people from around the island to discuss different aspects of finance, and I'm really, really excited about it. I think there's a lot of different directions we can take it.
A lot of different directions and a lot of different questions, because I know in this market people are a lot more careful. Like you said, they're reviewing their statements a lot more carefully. And,
definitely.
And,
which are
a little
absolutely
more cautious.
Hieroglyphics. You can't read statements.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Forget it. But they just want to make sure they have money coming in and not going out. Exactly. Well, thank you, Emily.
It's
I
been a
wish you
pleasure.
the best of luck with your business, and I'm sure it's going to be a huge success. Thank you very much.
Stop by anytime.
Absolutely. And thank you for joining us at Talk of the Town. I'm Donna D'Amico, your guest host. Have a great day. Bye-bye.